goodness. Okay.
So this is a very long-awaited video.
Yes.
That we have been wanting to do for months now. And to be honest, us sitting here and talking to you with no makeup on.
Zero. We both have
none.
Zero.
Like not even a primer. Nothing.
No, nothing.
Is actually really difficult for us. Not so much because we don't want you guys to see what we look like without makeup. It's more just because we've battled so much with our skin and having such gnarly insecurities that like basically posting this for anybody in the world to see is like gnarly.
Yeah, I mean, we're putting it on YouTube. I mean, everyone can see this. It's not just people who care to follow us. It's
Except for China. China doesn't have YouTube, so.
Poor China.
You guys don't get to watch this.
Sorry, China. But yeah, so it's something that we've actually never talked about on the blog, never talked about on our Instagram, like anything.
Right.
And only like our close friends and family know about it.
Which is weird because we are super open and raw with the people who choose to let us into their world through our blog and our Instagram, but this is just something that we struggled with so much that we're not going to tell anybody.
Yeah. And then we figured, no, we have to tell people because you're probably going through the same thing or...
You know someone.
Yeah. So basically what we're trying to say is we're pregnant. I'm joking. I'm joking.
With the same baby, we're uni pregnant.
We're uni pregnant. No.
That would be impossible.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So we touch on this a couple, like, here and there. Everyone knows that Bree and I have very sensitive skin and la la la.
We're acne prone.
Yeah, it's just the whole 9 yards. So we both, coincidentally enough, went on Accutane. And
dun, dun,
yeah, I was like, because you say that word and everyone's like,
oh my god, Accutane.
And I've been there. Like, I was that person. Like, whenever I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, what? You're doing what? So we wanted to do a video dedicated to Accutane, telling you our stories about our skin, what we've been through, and maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, whatever.
Yeah.
So stick around and we're just gonna go through it all.
Sorry if this is really long. We're literally just gonna be raw and open with you guys and tell you about our experience. So we're gonna walk you through the history of our skin, our decision process of getting to Accutane, which was really difficult for us, our Accutane Prep, so what we did to make sure that our bodies were okay for this, because it is such an intense treatment.
Yeah.
And then the side effects that we went through, and we're also going to show you the product, so.
And we're also going to show you before and after photos.
Yeah, and that is something.
That's another something.
I could throw up.
I literally just said this to Bree because we were already like, oh gosh, we're doing this with no makeup on. My skin is so red. Because
side effect.
Currently, I'm on it. She is off of it.
Yeah.
So
I finished in October and it's February now.
Yes.
So I've been off of it for a while. And Kenzie literally started when I finished.
Yeah. Because it wasn't even an option in my head, and then all of a sudden it just happened. But anyways, what was my point? Oh, I asked Bree, I was like, should we show before and after photos? Because we did take a diary of our skin and how it was changing.
Right.
And I yelled this from another room to Bree, and all I heard was, yeah, I guess so. So another kind of something that we don't really want to do, but we're going to do it anyways.
Stay tuned to the end, because then you'll see our before and after pictures, and let me tell you, they're brutal.
They're before and after.
All right, so the history with our skin.
Yes.
So I'll just give you a quick background on my skin, and then Kenzie will tell you about hers. I am 25, which is crazy, and I have been struggling with acne for literally 10 years. I had really bad cystic acne when I was 15, and it was based on hormones. So, they suggested that I go on Accutane when I was in high school, but I just wasn't in a place where I could commit to such a aggressive treatment, because it is something that you have to be on top of. And I was just I was a 15-year-old, and I'm like, I don't want to take that. No, I love my life, and I like eating junk food. And so that wasn't an option for me when I was 15, and I had really bad acne. So the other option was birth control. And I strictly took it for the hormone purposes, and it actually helped my acne a ton, which I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't have acne for a couple of years. I thought it was great. Then I started to get really healthy and kind of be more in tune with my body and what I put into my body, and wanted to make sure I was much more intentional. So I took myself off of birth control because I didn't need it for the reason most people use it, sex. I was strictly using it to control my hormones. And so I took myself off of it when I was 20. And I had still broken out a little bit here and there with it, and my skin just went buck wild. Like, it was worse than it had ever been, and it got worse. So from 20 to 25, I had brutal, like, cystic acne to the point where it was, like, so deep under that even when I would go get facials, they couldn't even get to them. It would hurt to put on makeup, and I would just find myself crying because not only did it hurt so much, but I'm such a, like, outgoing, like, bubbly person, and I was finding myself not being able to look at people and talk to them in their eyes, which is so not me. Like, I would kind of hide behind my hair, and I would kind of, like, do a lot of this stuff, and I had just started college, and it was just such a brutal time. And Kinsey was walking through this with me, and I would just cry all the time about it. And so basically, I had done so many different treatments. I had done laser. I had done every type of face wash you could think of. I literally think I have spent like $5,000 on face stuff. Like, between laser treatment, microdermabrasion, I did everything. And it helped with my scarring, but guess what? I would break out the next day, and everything that I just did was for no reason because I kept breaking out. So finally, years later, it took me 10 years to finally say, you know what, I'm going to try Accutane. You cannot get pregnant while you're on Accutane, and you cannot get pregnant at least minimum a year after Accutane because of the birth effects are so gnarly. And so I knew that Brock and I wanted to get engaged within the year or two, which ended up happening. And I was like, now's the time because I want to be able to have kids by the time I'm like, 27, 28, if that's how my life plays out. So that's why I chose to do Accutane immediately. And so I went to my doctor, and my dermatologist told me that I was a perfect candidate for it and that I would be on a low dosage. And so I took a low dosage for 9 months, and it was pretty brutal. But that was my skin story. So what's yours?
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Good skin story. So, my skin story. So, my entire life, I had perfect skin. Like,
she did.
I never got a pimple. Like, I was totally fine. So when I turned about 20, I was actually turning 21, I started, like, breaking out on my forehead a lot. And it was, like, little pimples. It wasn't, like, cystic or anything like that, whatever. And just basically from there, from, like, when I was 20 to I'm now almost 26, I just battled with, like, acne. And that was when, like, when I was 21, that was when I started to become more aware of, like, what I was putting into my body, and tried to get better at, like, eating healthy, and then it, like, kind of became my lifestyle, and, like, from there. But I just couldn't get my skin under control. And one of the biggest triggers that happened when my skin would break out was alcohol. And I wasn't a big drinker, like, growing up when I was younger. I didn't go to Vegas until I was 21. Like, that was the first time I went to Vegas. So when I started drinking, I don't know if it, like, to this day, I cannot even tell you. Like, Bree can tell you hers was very hormonal. Like, that's what it was connected to. To this day, I can't even tell you what my acne was connected to, because I would drink and I would, like, break out, like, gnarly. And, like, people were like, oh, like, why aren't you drinking? And I'm like, because I don't want all these pimples all over my face. Like, people just, like, didn't get it. So I finally went to a dermatologist after, like, trying to figure it out myself. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna figure it out myself. Never could figure it out. Went to a dermatologist. He put me on an antibiotic because he's like, oh, this is a bacteria. You have a bacteria inside of you, and that's what's causing your acne. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Like, never heard that before. Sure. So put me on an antibiotic. I was on the antibiotic for about, I would say, like, a month. Like, he only gave me, like, 1 bottle, got through the bottle, face cleared up. It was, like, lovely. It was not last year, but the year before that, during, like, October-ish. And so from, like, November to March, I had great skin. Clear as day. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cured. It's amazing. Like, I can drink again and everything's fine. And again, still strict diet, like very whatever, clean. I mean, everyone has a cheat day every once in a while. Like, you know, I gotta have a burger and fries. Anyways.
Gotta have a margarita.
Yeah, that too. And so March came around, and it was one of my best friend's birthday. And it was the first time I drank alcohol with like mixers in it or like any type of sugar in it. And my face, it all came back, and I just like broke out everywhere. And I was just like, okay, so is it connected to sugar? And am I just supposed to never drink in my life ever again? And like, it got to a point where I couldn't even enjoy a glass of wine with like brie because I would break out, and it just sucked. So then I went through like, okay, maybe it's my hormones. So I got all my hormones checked. Everything's balanced. I'm like, sick. And I was like, maybe it's my thyroid. Got my thyroid checked. Everything's fine. Sick. And I was like, okay, so what the heck is wrong with me?
And so, you cut out sugar.
Oh, yeah. And then we did Whole30.
Yeah.
Which cut out all of my sugar, all of the alcohol, like everything that would be inflammatory to your body, I was not using. So during that 30 days, my skin got better, yes, but it still didn't clear up. Like, it still was there, and like nothing was helping. And maybe it's a food allergy and like whatever. So what happened was I got set up with one of like Beverly Hills like greatest like dermatologists. His name is Dr. Lancer. I went to an appointment with him. He sat me down and was like, okay, you have 3 options. You have an antibiotic, which you already did and it didn't work clearly. Birth control, but it's not a hormonal thing, so I wouldn't suggest birth control because that won't work for you. Right. Third is Accutane. And he literally said Accutane, and I like wanted to cry right there. I was like, no, like this is not an option for me. Like, how did my skin get this bad that I need Accutane?
And I was on it
and
while he suggested it to her, so she was seeing my side effects.
Yeah. And like I was just terrified. After that happened, I kind of like started thinking about it. Personally, I started praying about it. What basically my decision came down to was I lose, and sounds kind of stupid, but I lose my good insurance, my good medical insurance come March. So like in a month, because I'm turning 26. So I don't get to be on my mom's bougie health insurance anymore. Like I have to figure out what I'm doing for myself. So I was like, crap, either I do this now or I do it never, in a sense, because I don't know how much it's going to cost when I get my own.
And it is really expensive.
It's super, like, you have to pay for a blood test every month. You have to pay for the Accutane itself. And then you have to pay for a monthly visit to your dermatologist because they want to check up on you and, like, in on how you're doing. Like, without insurance, that gets pricey. And it's, like, just the drug alone can get up to $200. And so I basically was like, wow, I mean, I could continue to do this, do like a food allergy test, see if it's a food thing, or I can just try and like nip it in the bud and do it. And so I decided to do it. And that was in, I don't remember, October is when I started, October, November. So yeah, and that's when also I went to my dermatologist and she was like, okay, she's like, I think you're a perfect candidate for it. It's so funny because dermatologists are kind of like so nonchalant about it in a sense. Like,
you got acne.
Yeah.
It's alright. I'm like, it's not alright. I can't even talk to people.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, Accutane, it's fine. And you're like, what? Like, I can't even get pregnant on this because I like will kill a child. Like, this is not something. But yeah, so she was she was like, I've been using it for 20 to 30 years. Like, I've never had anything bad about it. Like, la la la, and I'm just like, okay, like I guess. And obviously I'm watching Bree go through it and seeing all what she's taking, like her steps.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like I can do this. But I told my dermatologist, because normally when you're on Accutane, you also have to be on birth control.
It's a law.
It's a law. So unless you that's
literally the box has a pregnant thing on it, and you have to sign a contract that you won't get pregnant and that you'll take forms of birth control.
Yeah.
So
I basically like looked at my dermatologist, and most of anybody doesn't know this about me, but I'm a virgin. I'm a 26-year-old virgin.
What up?
Like, for me, I was like, but for Bree, she has a boyfriend. So for me, I was like, I'm alone. I also don't have sex, so I'm not putting one bad thing in my body and then on top of it, putting birth control in my body. And I basically like told my dermatologist like that. I was like, no.
Right.
And she was like, okay. She's like, as long as you like keep me in the know, and if anything changes, and I'm like, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah.
I promise.
Trust me.
Trust me. It's been 26 years. Nothing's gonna change.
Yeah.
And so thankfully I've been able to just claim abstinence every month and just been able to take Accutane because I've never taken birth control before.
Right. And then for me, it was super shitty. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't mean to like cuss, but so Kenzie has a different insurance. I'm with Kaiser.
Yeah.
Kaiser is psycho about their policies, which is great. I totally understand it. Birth control, the side effects if you do get pregnant are horrendous for the child.
Yeah.
And so they have made it a law that you cannot get pregnant while you're on Accutane, and that you have to use 2 forms of birth control, which I'm sure you can do the math. And so figure out which forms would work for you.
Yeah.
Brock and I, who is my fiance, are abstinent. We do not have sex, which is so funny. Like, people think it's so weird, but I'm we're just waiting till marriage.
Yeah.
And my dermatologist in RN actually didn't believe me, and they were like, no, you have been on birth control before. And I tried to explain them, no, that was actually for my hormonal acne. And they're like, well, you have a boyfriend / fiance, like, we just can't trust you, that like you might slip.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but also we've been together for so many years and we haven't slipped into having sex, so I don't think that the one time that I know that if I were to have sex, that the consequences for my child would be so bad, I don't think I'm going to have sex.
Yeah.
So they actually forced me to go on birth control, and I had to sign contracts, because I bought them on it, and they wouldn't let me just say I'm abstinent because I have like pictures with my boyfriend and all this stuff. So what I did, which is kind of slightly illegal.
I was like, wow, you're going to go for it.
So don't report me. But it doesn't matter because I'm not on the treatment anymore. So what I did is
She got away with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, okay, I'll take the birth control if this is so important to you. I know myself. I am not having sex with Brock or anyone that is going to just walk into my life.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen in the 9 months I'm taking this treatment. So I said, yeah, I'll take the birth control. And I took it for 1 month, and because you have to get blood work every month, and I took it for 1 month. And then I said, you know what? I don't think this shows up in the blood work, so I'm going to test it. So the next month, I took myself off of birth control because I didn't want, like Kenzie, to put birth control and Accutane in my body, especially when I didn't need the birth control. And so I took myself off of it, and it never came up in any of the blood tests, and so I went through all of Accutane also without birth control.
Yeah.
And I think it helped a lot, too, because birth control can lead to, like, more side effects. And we're already going through enough side effects with Accutane. I don't need birth control side effects. I don't want to gain weight. Like, I already feel crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel bloated. Like, I just didn't want those side effects. And so I do not recommend it for anybody who is not hardcore about staying abstinent. Like, you know, if you do have occasional, like, hookups or, like, I don't know, maybe you're dating someone and you think that you might sleep with him, I would absolutely go on birth control. One, because you don't want to put your body or your potential child through that, and also you can get sued by your doctor and the pharmacy company that produces Accutane, and like who wants to get sued because you got pregnant.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. What
It's
up?
like my bucket list, number 1.
Yeah. Okay, so now you know our history, now that we've been ranting. And we went through the decision process of Accutane. I have my notes on here for us.
Didn't we already go over this? That Bree's a list maker. She likes to make lists.
I love lists.
All right. But they help, so.
Okay, so Accutane Prep, what we did to prep for it. So
Yes. You do that
Sage
because
fright,
you're
okay.
better. You're better
So
at that.
basically, Accutane, I urge you, if you are looking into this, to look up all of the side effects. This is what we did. So what I did was I looked up all the side effects. I made a list of it. And then I made a list.
Oh, another list.
I made another list of things that combat those side effects. So, for example, extreme liver damage is one of them. Okay, well, I know that this treatment is so intense on my liver. What can I do to help my liver? So you can't eat fast food or any greasy foods while you're on it because it's hard for your body to process it because it's processing Accutane.
And people do, but we're just saying we did not because we're psycho and we wanted to we're putting something terrible in our body. So we just wanted.
Basically, the reason why we did Accutane Prep, which we did before and during Accutane, is just to help assist our body. We're putting it through something so intense, we might as well give it a helping hand. So, for examples like the liver damage. So I started taking milk thistle, which is an herb, and I also would juice a ton. So beets are really, really great for liver detox. And so I started juicing, which I already juiced a lot before, and so did Kenzie. But we started incorporating more juice into our lifestyle because it was helping our body process everything. And so every time, because you get your blood work done every single month, it's part of the law for Accutane, and they are checking your liver levels, and every single time my liver came back better than it was before I took Accutane, which is crazy because I was combating it so much that every time they're like, your levels aren't getting like adjusted at all, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, that's because I'm being even more crazy.
Yeah. And that's another thing, when you're on Accutane, you're not supposed to drink alcohol at all. You can have a glass of wine. For me, Bree really stayed away from alcohol. Like, you had 1 or 2 drinks?
Out of the whole 9 months, I had 1 margarita at your birthday. Yeah. So 1 out of 9 months. Yeah. But I don't really drink anyways, but.
Yeah. And so for me, I kind of been picking and choosing when I have my drink, basically. And you can feel it as also, you become a super lightweight. I milked a glass of wine for a 2.5 hour period. That is a world record. On a date. Ow! Yeah. And I was buzzed. And it's 2.5 hours. And I had 1 glass of wine. It's crazy. So it really affects you. And when I was in Australia, I remember I had 2 beers one time. That's the max I ever go, is 2 drinks. I even felt the difference when I had the 2 beers. I got a raging headache because it dehydrates your body so quickly. And so I just basically, I was yep, okay, not gonna do that again.
Not worth it.
That's not worth it, sort of thing. And you also have to check your liver levels, because if they spike, then they'll take you off the drug.
Right. That's the one thing, is if you get your levels checked every month, because if anything is spiking, they have to take you off of the treatment or down your intake.
And what Accutane is basically a really, really high dose of vitamin A in your body. It's just you're overdosing on vitamin A. So you're not supposed to put anything that has vitamin A inside of your body. Right. So vitamins, if you're taking a multivitamin, make sure there's no vitamin A in the vitamin. There normally is, so maybe stop using that and substitute it out for other vitamins.
Right. Because you actually can OD on vitamin A while you're on Accutane. Exactly. So stay away from vitamin A. But these are some of the vitamins that we took before, during, and after that made the world of difference. Yeah. So I made sure to take my flaxseed oil, which is full of omega-3s.
This is great for your, it supports a healthy heart, is what it says. But omega-3 is just good fatty, just fat for your nutrients for your bones and for your muscles. Also, I take calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D.
Super important.
For my bones, because I actually got adjusted, and the PT or chiropractor told me that I have soft bones, and I was like, ooh, that's not good. So I started taking calcium, and make sure you have vitamin D, because that is what helps your body absorb the calcium and magnesium.
Right.
We both took vitamin E.
Which this, I cannot tell you, helps so much. I would take vitamin E in the morning and at night, and on the days that I skipped it, my skin would be so much more dry. This just kind of helps moisturize from the inside out. Yeah. So vitamin E is excellent for so many different things, but especially on Accutane. It makes your skin just glow in normal life, but on Accutane, it helps moisturize because you are so dry on the treatment.
So I take 2 of these a day.
Right.
I take 2 of these a day. And I take 3 of these a day.
Flaxseed.
And then lastly, turmeric.
Which
root extract
is our favorite. If you can put turmeric in your food, put it in your juices. We put turmeric in our coffee.
Bathe in it.
Yeah. We actually put turmeric on our face.
Yeah. We do.
Yeah, it's anti-inflammatory. It's a miracle herb, or root, actually. Yeah. I really suggest looking at all of the things that it can do for you. But while on Accutane, I doubled my dosage of normal normal life, and it helped so much. It helped with the breakouts while on Accutane.
Yeah.
And just my overall energy.
Yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory, so you can't go wrong.
It kicks butt.
So I take 1 or 2 of these a day, just depends.
Yeah, so that was our prep, like before, during, and after. So some side effects. We will talk to you about Accutane side effects. So, do you want to name your top 3 favorite?
My top 3 favorite side effects. So Bree actually got more side effects than I did, which is just, it's kind of cool. It's like meant to be that we both did Accutane because we could see how different bodies react differently to Accutane. So like you could hear like a horror story coming from somebody else, but like you learn that your body can react completely different.
Right.
And like that's what I was most scared of because I was seeing kind of like some of the side effects she was going through. Right. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have to go through that. And I had to keep reminding myself like, okay, like I'm different. And that's what happened. Like I am different. My biggest side effect would be my face just gets really red and really hot. When I was in Australia, my face was very dry because you're in the middle of a desert over there. That's what Australia is. So that was like where my biggest side effect came into play. When I was over there, my skin was like just every morning I would just be able to like peel like things off of my skin because it was just there and it was just like flaking and it wasn't like I peeled it and it was like bleeding. I literally peeled and I was like, and it's gone, like just shedding. So, and then, but when I came back over here, skin went back to normal because I normally have like combination skin, like I'm dry in some areas and my skin's like totally fine. My lips are a little dry, but like nothing gnarly, like, oh, my ear, it's so weird. And I got this when I was younger, but then now I get it now. Right in like the crevice, I get like real, like dry earwax. It basically is, right?
Yeah, so I had this too. It kind of like, it's not even earwax, it's just like anywhere that your body has like a crevice, so like your armpits, even your bikini, where like there's just skin that kind of folds, you will kind of get rashes and then it will form scabs. Scabs.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's more of like a scab, and so she has them in her ears.
That's my gnarlist, I think. I have them in both ears. It really sucks.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
And because I haven't had anything really bad, like side effects wise, that's why my dermatologist is upping my milligrams because you have to hit a certain amount of milligrams on Accutane to be done. It's not like, oh, you're on it for a year and you're done. People can be on it for 6 months, 9 months. I've been on it for 3 months, and I think I'm only going to be on it for like 4 or 5. So
yeah, it just depends on how quickly you can up your dosage. So my side effects, I pretty much had all of them except for the mental side effects because that is something that's really important. You do have to watch because it can flare up bipolar or anger, depression, all different types of things. So you have to really make sure that either you're journaling or you're around people who
uplift you.
Yeah, it can uplift you but keep you accountable. Like, hey, I can kind of tell that your mood is changing a lot. You need someone to tell you that because it really does mess with the chemical balance of your brain. But luckily, we both didn't experience that. But some things that I did experience, I had really gnarly rashes and similar symptoms to eczema all over my body. So this is really embarrassing, but I'm going to show you.
And actually, I have this right now.
Yeah, so this is my armpit. And I had a rash from here all the way down here for like 2 months. And it was
so
just
weird.
Yeah, and it didn't like scab or anything. It was just kind of itchy.
No, it's just there.
So that was one of my side effects. I also got that same rash in my bikini line, which was really hard because I took Accutane over spring and summer. And so that was kind of difficult for me because I kind of felt like crazy in my bikini area. Really. I was like, ooh, this is not cute. What other side effects did I have? Yeah, my lips got really dry. That is a huge side effect to the point where I could literally peel off my entire lip like a snake. So I kept chapstick in every part of my life. Like I had them in my pockets, in my backpack, in my purse, in my car, next to my bed. So that was something that was really hard for me because it was like, not only am I breaking out, but now I have dry, gross, peely lips. And the third, one of the other really hard side effects that I went through was before your skin gets better, it has to get absolutely worse.
Yeah.
So the first 2 months of Accutane are brutal. They don't really tell you that unless you do your own research. So basically what happens is everything in your body is coming out through your skin. Everything. So my skin for the first 2 months of Accutane was literally 10 times worse than my skin had ever been before.
And you're like, what
Yeah.
the heck? This is supposed
Yeah.
to be better. Why is it worse?
And that was really hard for me because now it's like I have triple the amount of pimples, my skin is dry, I have rashes, I don't feel that great, and I almost quit 2 months into it, and I was like, I don't think I can do this, it isn't worth it, I'd rather have my old pimples back.
Yeah.
And I literally read every blog, every review on it, and I was like, all right, I gotta get to month 4 and month 5 because that's when people are seeing changes. So those are my biggest side effects. Products used while on Accutane.
I'm gonna go grab my chapstick.
Okay, perfect. So while she's going to grab her chapstick, I'll just explain to you some of the products that I used. So I tried to keep everything very natural. The doctors will tell you, oh, just use like Clarisol or whatever generic grocery store brand is. That's fine, it's cheap, but it's also not great for your actual skin. So anything you put on your skin is absorbed into your body and can be used throughout your whole body, and so your liver has to process that and your kidneys. So we try to keep everything clean. So I used Abstinence, which is a pretty almost 100% clean product. I used their Stone Crop Gel Wash because this exact one, the Stone Crop Gel Wash, Stone Crop is an actual plant, and it basically helps redness, reduce redness and scarring. So I was washing my face with this. It is not like it's naturally antibacterial, but it doesn't have any crazy acids in it. So it was really nice and cooling for my face, and I loved that. I also would use charcoal sponges or my Clarisonic every once in a while because that would help like get the dead skin off. Something that was really important for me also was a vitamin C serum. This is Avalon Organics Intense Defense. It is literally the cheapest vitamin serum you can find. I buy it at a health food store. You can get it at Whole Foods, Sprouts, order it online. Sometimes they actually have it at Home Goods, which is so random, but it's about at Home Goods.
Amazon.
It's like $10, but in the grocery store it's $15. It's incredible. It's a lightweight serum, and vitamin C helps to reduce your scarring and hydrate your skin. So in combo with that, I used rosehip oil, which is incredible. Kenzie and I both use it. It helps with moisturizing, it helps with your acne, antibacterial, and it helps with scarring. So I really loved this. It helped me get through it. And then I always kept a hydrating mist on hand, and I would just spray it on my skin to keep my skin a little bit more hydrated than normal life. And I use all of these products still today, just not as intensely. Like I would triple the amount that I used like on Accutane, and now I'm just normal. So now your products.
I'm like,
and a lot of our products are similar. So.
Yeah, they are. So I guess I'll start with my chapstick that I just grabbed. It's like almost like out. So I have this stuff everywhere. So I have this big tube that I carry in my purse, and I have 2 like little tubes that I carry in my car. Mm-hmm. And this is Aquaphor. You might have heard of it. It's like pretty basic. A lot of makeup artists use it because it's very, very hydrating for your lips. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of our makeup artists that we work with, she told me to get this while on Accutane, and it's been, because I usually use Paw Paw, which is from Australia, that I get on Amazon.
It's like a Vaseline.
Yeah, basically. And she told me to get this, and I got it, and my gosh, like, it's my saving grace.
I wish I would have used that, because I think that my lips wouldn't have been so bad. Yeah.
I think that's, why my lips are so hydrated all the time, because it's literally for dry, cracked, or irritated skin. So, hello. So, so I use that on my lips. To wash my face, I don't use like a nice and organic whatever. I actually use Lancer, the dermatologist that got me into this mess. I'm just kidding. So I use his blemish control as a face wash. I just wash this in the morning and at night. It has, it's really nice because it kind of has like peppermint in it, and it has like little teeny tiny beads, nothing like crazy. So it just like slightly like exfoliates my skin, nothing crazy. And after I'm done washing it, it kind of feels like refreshing. Like just very refreshing, very cold in a sense because it's peppermint. And then at night, I use his polish. I actually polish my face first. So this is like way more like hardcore like exfoliator. So I only use a little bit. I only exfoliate a little bit. Nothing too crazy because I am on Accutane and I don't want to like irritate my skin. I only use it at night. Don't use it twice a day. And then I finish with my face wash. I then, what do I do? I use my Dr. Rubik's serum. This is specifically made for me. You go on their website, Bree has one as well, and you fill out like a little questionnaire, and they make you a serum just with 2 ingredients that are tailored to what you need. So mine is tailored to a lot of hydration because that's what I need because I'm very dry right now. So I put that on my face, and then during the day and at night, I use Dr. Rubik's Face, which is their moisturizer.
Omega moisturizer.
It's amazing. So before I was using this, I was using the Eminence moisturizer, and we thought that was like amazing. And I was using that out in Australia. And so finally when I got rid of that, I was like, okay, I'm going to try Dr. Rubik's now because I want to see if it's worth it. And oh my gosh.
It's worth it.
It's insane how hydrating my face is. Like it's nuts. So then at night, I do this, and then I also combine it with my Malaya face serum, which I'm almost out of and I have to get more of. I got this in New York at the Chelsea markets, like randomly came up to her booth, and it's been amazing. I actually kind of have been actually using it in place of my rosehip oil because it has rosehip in it, but also other ingredients that I'm blanking on right now and I can't tell you, but you can always go on the website and check out Malaya.
Below we'll put a list of all of the products so that you don't have to rewatch this and
so I combine those, and then I finish with my and Bree does this as well, Dr. Rubik's Eye. So this is like an eye cream. It's so amazing. Underbag eyes, is that what makes sense?
And you just use your ring fingers.
Yeah. And
dab it into your eyes.
Yeah, under eye, the bags, those run in my family, so I try to put this on a little bit during the day and a lot at night.
And then this, which we both use.
Oh, yeah.
So this is incredible. It's a turmeric stick. Like we told you, we ingest turmeric, and we also put it on our face. So this is by Cocoa Kind. It's 100% organic. It's an amazing brand made by like the super cool girl boss who lives up in San Francisco, and she created a line based on coconut and coconut oil. And so this is the turmeric stick. It's a spot treatment. It looks like this. You can literally do spot treatments, or you can do your entire face. This helps with scarring. It has a little bit of tea tree oil in it, which smells so good. And I put it on my whole face once a week. And I really think that it has helped with my scarring and my weird pigmentation. And Kenzie's using it right now to help battle the actual active pimples.
Before Bree came over, I had it on my face. And
yeah.
I was just like, well, I'm just waiting for her to get here, so I'll just chill. But yeah, all the ingredients are actually on the back. You can't see that, obviously.
And you can pronounce them.
You can read all of them, and you know exactly what they are. So that's so nice. That's really rad.
Highly recommend this, and it's only like $10.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we're recommending are on a wide price range, anywhere from like literally $10 to like $30.
Yeah, it just depends.
So you just kind of pick what you think would fit best for you.
And again, if this stuff works for us, it might not work for you. Like Bree and I have different face washes because
I use Eminence.
I tried that and I wasn't a fan.
She uses Lancer.
So. And like lastly, this is my best friend, the Hydrating Mist. We both use this just because I'm a fitness instructor, so I don't always get to wash my face right after I work out. So sometimes I'll just like splash it with water, and then I'll spritz my face with this. Also, are you getting a little thing that I like Dr. Rubik's, I think? Dr. Rubik's Coconut Hand Cream. This stuff is amazing. I use it for my hands, my arms. My arms, actually, I don't think I can show you, but you can kind of see it. They got really like spotty because they're so dry.
Yeah, I got a lot of
spats.
Dry spots.
Yeah, so this has helped that.
And it almost looks like weird pigmentation. This is another side effect that I had. I don't know if you can really see it,
it's like...
but like my skin would get these heat rashes
Yeah.
all around. And so I would put coconut oil. I wish that I was using Dr. Rubik's. We like just discovered this a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have known more about it because I think it would have helped my skin.
So hydrating, like it's
Yeah.
insane. Like my face feels better than it did before Accutane, which is crazy
nice.
Because I used to be really dry skin. And
Ooh, Kula.
yeah. So
we
last but
love
not least,
Kula.
we love Kula.
The best.
Kula is the best. So we use Kula for our primer, and we use Kula for our
Sunblock.
What is the other thing that we put on our face? Like not
The BB cream.
BB cream. That's
Yeah,
what it
so
is.
that
I don't have that
Kula
with
is
me,
an
but-
all-organic sunblock sunscreen company from
Yeah.
California, and they have a really cool line of beauty products too, and we use their beauty products,
Yeah.
which rock.
So one of the most important things to do while on Accutane is to put on sunscreen. Not really on your body. If you're going to be in the sun for a very long period of time,
Yeah.
put it on your body. But for your face, so I don't always wear makeup every day. You guys know this. So I put this on my face, which is the primer, because it has SPF 30 in it. So I was like, perfect. And I know it doesn't break me out, so I'm like, sweet, I win.
Sweet.
So yeah.
So okay, so wait. You can't just bring that in here. So those are the products we use. This little guy
Yes.
is incredible. Definitely do your research on this. Watch YouTube videos on the proper way to do it. We did a ton of research, but this has truly changed our skin.
What's it called again? I always forget the name of it, honestly.
Oh my god.
Right?
Wait, I'm Googling this.
Yeah.
Why can we not?
Well, while she Googles and things. So, when you're on Accutane, you're not allowed to do any laser treatments. Also, you're not allowed to wax as well.
While you're on it, and then a couple months after.
Yeah, so definitely not your eyebrows. So, sorry, you have to let your eyebrows grow out.
That was
Whatever.
hard for me.
I have been able to sugar, and I haven't, like, nothing bad has happened, because I sugar my underarms. I sugared my bikini twice. Was fine. Nothing really happened. But I continue to sugar my underarms, but not my bikini. I stopped my bikini. That's what it is.
So Kinsey just ran to get the name of this because we keep forgetting. So this is a high frequency machine. So you actually plug it in, and you turn it on, and there's literally high frequency electricity that goes through here. What that does is you go on your skin and you dab it like this. Like this, it helps with wrinkles, acne. It kills and zaps all of the bacteria that's in your skin.
And produces collagen.
Yeah, produces collagen.
Which helps with scarring.
Yeah, and wrinkles, which is cool.
And wrinkles.
We go super low, not on the highest one because your skin is sensitive. Again, please read up on this. Make sure, because you can actually damage your skin with this. But you can buy it on Amazon for $30. It's incredible. We heard about it from our facialist, and she does it as treatments, but we really think that it's effective if you have it at home instead of just having it as a monthly treatment at your facialist.
Yeah.
It's literally $30. They used to be like $800, but now Amazon is in the game, so it's a lot cheaper.
I asked my dermatologist about it too, and she was like, I don't think, there's no reason why you can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
And if you want us to do a tutorial on that, please comment below, DM us, whatever, reach out to us and let us know that you want a tutorial on it, and we'll do that for you. But there are tutorials out there that you can watch, but we can do one so you know what we did. So now that we have talked and ranted for 5,000 years,
Oh, okay. So this is the
we're
final.
going
The
to
final countdown. Do we want to show them the actual? So yeah, this is the actual box, really quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Accutane. That's like the whatever
the
name for it.
official word for it.
Yeah,
this
but
is the generic.
They all have like a bunch of different brands that you use. So I'm on Clarivis, and this is what it comes in.
I was too.
There's 3 of these. There's 3 boxes that come in one big box for an entire month. I'm on 40 milligrams. And literally, it's everywhere. Like birth defects.
Do not get pregnant.
Don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. On every single pill, don't get pregnant. Like I cannot.
So when we were talking about the whole birth control thing, it's like a legit thing.
Yeah. So then you just take a
That's
pill a day. That's about it. Just want to show you guys.
I kind of love that we documented our skin story because when people tell me like, oh, your skin probably wasn't that bad. First of all, never let anyone tell you that your skin isn't that bad because your skin compared to someone else's it's how you feel about your skin. One pimple, might make you feel like, oh my God, my world is ending. I have one pimple. I understand that. Like, I get it. I had hundreds. So whether you have one or hundreds, don't shame someone because they are insecure about 1 or 100. Like, at the end of the day, it makes you feel shitty. So don't put people down because they have acne. And also, don't go around suggesting people, like, who do have acne, like, oh, you should try this and this and this, because they're hearing that from everybody.
It's so
annoying. And that, like, really hurt our feelings when, like, we would be at the grocery store and, like, we're checking out and the lady would say something like, oh, honey, like, you know, I noticed your acne. You should probably try, you know, eating carrots.
You're like, oh, carrots?
Well, let me tell you, I have tried it all. Yeah, so please just be cautious of other people's feelings.
Because it's a very, like, an emotional thing.
Yeah, and
like,
you can get, actually have acne depression. And I think that we kind of had a bit of that. Yeah. So now we're going to show you our before and afters. Wow. Okay, so this was my skin, and mind you, we don't really edit a lot of our pictures on Instagram. It's just, we take pictures from far away mostly, or wear a lot of makeup. And that's why, like, I don't want you to think, like, oh my God, they totally are fake.
We're really good at lighting, too.
Yeah, it's all about lighting. But now my skin is obviously smooth. I mean, I still have some scarring, but I don't have any pimples of any kind. So now I'm just working on the scarring part, which is unreal. So this is my before. As you can see, there was just cystic acne. I had normal acne up here. It was all around. I broke out behind my ears, around my neck. I didn't so much have body acne. So yeah, Kenzie was more of the body. So that was before and during. Now this is while I was on it also, which is kind of brutal. I had a lot of things down here that were gnarly. So you can see that, like, my overall skin just wasn't healthy. That was about halfway through, and this was me ending almost done with Accutane. This is about the 3 or 4 month mark, which was really brutal when I told you I wanted to quit. And then some other things was, like, I got really gnarly blisters on my lip, which is, like, super embarrassing for me to show you. But that was from the sun, because you're so sensitive to the sun. But let's just go back to showing you the before and after. So this is my before, and this is my after. I can't believe it! It's really cool. So yeah, and then here's Kenzie's.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
you're good. You're almost done.
It's just okay. So this was my, like, this was November 2nd. So this was, like, right when I started. This was my face. I hope I'm going the right way. Hold on.
Yeah.
That was the side of my face. Other side of my face. That was, oh gosh, it's gnarly. That was right before I started. This was, like, I would say, like, probably 1 month in. Come on. There we go. That's 1 month in. So it actually, like, excuse you.
Hiccup.
It actually almost looked better in a sense. But then it got worse. And so then it got to, see, like, yeah, it was so weird. I went, like, through, like, it's, like, better, but then it's, like, bad. Hold on. Come on. Find it. So, yeah, that was one. That was the front. Oof.
And mind you, it's February and Kenzie started in November.
Yeah, this is November.
And, like, her skin looks truly incredible for it only being a couple months.
And so that was, like, right before I went to Australia. November 30th is when I took those photos. And I went to Australia, like, beginning of December. So my skin, I kind of hate myself because I didn't take any photos while I was in Australia, and I should have. But it basically looked like the ones that I just showed you, maybe a little bit worse around this area. And then, yeah, I know, I literally look like a sweet sleepy bear. And then this is when I got back from Australia. You can see that everything kind of cleared up. I only had, like, big pimples, like, gnarly, like, pimples in a sense, but things were starting to clear up. So I was like, yay, believe it or not. And yeah, now this is what my face looks like. So I actually don't really have any pimples on
Yeah.
my face. Like, this is, like, all just needs to heal, which it'll get there. Like, I don't doubt it. See how red my face is? It's so red. I don't have anything on my forehead. This all just needs to heal. So, again, I look like a tomato all the time.
I did too.
It's
just,
crazy.
your skin is just red.
Yeah, but like nothing makeup can't fix if you're wearing makeup.
Yeah.
But it's also hot in here and I'm in a sweatshirt, so that's another
Check our
reason.
Instagram and
Yeah.
see the pictures when we do have makeup.
Yeah, I mean you can barely even tell,
you can't really
know?
tell the redness. It goes away.
So I've been moving along like a lot quicker in my recovery compared to Bree.
Right.
Bree's was also a lot worse than mine
Right.
in the sense of like connected to her hormones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
my overall acne was just like deeper.
it was just deeper. Yeah, mine were like just I don't know.
Surface.
Ugh. So that's
so that is our story on Accutane. We hope that this just kind of gives you some insight and some rawness into our life. If you're going through it, if you know someone who's going through it, if you know someone who's battling with acne, send this to them. It might kind of help them. We don't recommend
them.
Yeah, we don't recommend Accutane for everybody. We know that it's not for everyone, but this is our journey and it is only up from here because now we are in the healing process.
Yeah. And honestly, like we wouldn't like that wouldn't even be the first. Accutane wouldn't be the first thing on our minds if we were talking to somebody who had acne. We wouldn't be like, oh, did you try Accutane?
Right.
Like, no, as you can tell, like we went through a lengthy process of other things. Hers was 10 years, mine was 5 years of like trying to figure it out before resulting to like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Because I've known people who are like, oh my gosh, I had such bad acne. It was so terrible. And I was like, oh wow, like how long did you deal with it? Well, like 6 months. And then I went on, and I was like, 6 months and then you went on Accutane? Like, that's it? But, and that's fine. That's some people's journey. But like, yeah, so I don't know. You can always try and figure it out other ways, but.
And do your research.
Yeah.
A lot. We researched everything.
Everything.
But yeah, so that's us, and we hope you enjoyed watching our video.
I hope you still like us. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
If you don't like us, bye.
Yeah, don't judge my ex pimples.
Yeah,
I broke
right.
up with them.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So
If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
yeah,
Give us some comments.
totally comment
Isn't
below.
that what YouTube people say?
Yeah, we're not vloggers. We don't know how to do this, but we're trying to get the hang of it because we have been getting a lot of people asking for videos.
Yeah.
So you asked,
You
we
received.
delivered.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, guys.